with, I think, the West, is that this idea of absolute freedom is an insane, it's a very recent idea. Like, nobody 50 years ago would have any problem with censoring pornography. But the norms of our culture have changed so much, and people have been brainwashed into thinking that these things are related to freedoms, that people have freedom. Freedom for what? Freedom to destroy families, freedom to exploit broken women and men, freedom to entice people into a habit that will lead to pedophilia. And it's a gateway. It's like, just as marijuana and certain drugs, for some people, not for all people, for some people are a gateway into harder drugs. They're a gateway into harder drugs. There are people, they know in Las Vegas, because these are the great bean counters. You know, our civilization is a civilization of bean counters, big data, right? And people know, I gave talks in the early 90s about the naked consumer and how they were moving towards this monitoring everything. And I mean, I was reading this stuff in the early 90s. There were books written about what was coming. And it's here now. So they know how many people are going to become addicted to gambling. They know that there's a certain number of people that come into gambling houses and they will become addicts. There are a certain number of people that are going to watch pornography. They will become addicted to it. They know this. One of the things about our religion is it's actually to protect people. Everything that's prohibited is prohibited for your own good. What do they say? This is paternalistic. I'm not a child. I can choose for myself. This is the idea. I'm not a child. I can choose for myself. Let people choose for themselves. But is it really a choice when you are exposed constantly to these mughriyat, to these temptations, from the time you're really now a little kid, being exposed to these things, when you're bombarded with images? Is that really a choice? I mean, this is a question that we have to ask ourselves. Are these really choices? Or are they thrust upon us? Because you can't go to a grocery store in the West now without being exposed to pornography. Some level of pornography. So, you know, this is all of this relates to this idea of extremism. We are an extreme species. And this is where human beings are really, really stupid, because we just completely deny reality, the reality of our nature. We're extreme, you know, in America, we're extreme in sports. We have what's called extreme sports, where people do the most insane things. And many of them lose